the fact that I literally asked after the first like.
Oh, black screen. What's going on now? Double shot.
No, I'll explain. I've got 2 launch buttons. The first launch button is when we're over on the table. The second launch button is when we're over here. Out of habit, I press the first launch button. We're not at the table, we're over here.
Why do you have 2 launch buttons that do the same?
Because it goes to different cameras. So when it launches, it does this whole sequence. So it goes, do this, press this, start this video, wait however many seconds, and then switch to this camera. And what it did is it switched to the camera over there for the table, which is currently turned off because we're not over there. Because we're over here, because the Thane said they wanted the Liam and Joe show back in the chairs.
Oh.
They said the Liam and Joe shows are making less money because they're at the table, not at the chairs.
So if it fails here,
it's Thane's fault.
It's the Thane's fault. We just go back over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this one makes less than any of the last week's ones, we'll just go back and build models again.
I mean, it's much more helpful for me.
Like and subscribe.
Like infinitely more helpful for me.
So it's on you, Thanes. Well, it's not on you, Thanes.
Yeah.
It's on all of them.
So Thanes, you got to make sure it happens.
Yeah, and it is my fault. I did press the wrong button. It was totally on me. There's no excuse there. I was like, this is the button I always press, but we've moved to this seat now, so. And I have chat now as well, because we've got multiple iPads in the studio, which is groovy. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And what is an okay day actually here today? It's not that shitty.
Yeah, it's like overcast, but it's still a little bit warm, but then cold in places. It's got that weird kind of spitty rain on and off.
Yeah. Sticky label on button. No, because it's on my phone, Cooney. So that means the sticky label will just always be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Putting faith in Thanes. I know, yeah. I know. Hi Liam, Joe in chat. Hey Talwyn, what a great name. Thanes are liars, yeah. So we're back in the chairs today to talk to you people for the Liam and Joe show. I'm actually also not that sad about it. I like these chairs. I like this set that we built this set for podcasts and the Liam and Joe show.
I do like this one, but over there I get to play with toys.
Yeah, but we don't play with chat so much. Is their point?
Meh.
Also, if you watched last night's stream, I've decided how I'm going to fix my ring issue.
Yeah. I'm not going to stop man-spreading. I can't, my leg, because it just doesn't work like that. So you have to look at it. And I don't wear, and basically, I have decided I'm going to be one of those people that just wears black jeans all the time. And I don't like leaving the house wearing tracky bottoms.
I used to hate it.
Yeah.
I used to always have to put trousers on or shorts on typically, but I've embraced the
I only own
life.
one pair of tracksuit bottoms, and I wear them all the time at home. I just
the thing is,
but they're just covered in like glue and paint.
So this week is an aside because I'm taking a break. But the thing is, I normally am in the gym at 8:30 in the morning, and then I do the gym. I come home. I sometimes do a walk. I come back home. I have lunch. I come into the studio. I set up for the Liam and Joe show. We do the Liam and Joe show. We shut the Liam and Joe show down. We pack away. We set up for the game stream. I do the game stream. I don't get home until 11:30 at night. Not complaining. Love it. But I just wanted to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's why I've embraced the tracky bottom life, mate, because I just want to be comfortable. So and we went out, Luce and I went out for dinner on Saturday evening, and I put trousers on there, and I came home and I was like, I just want to put my tracky bottoms back on.
Yeah, I literally walk home, literally just whoop, trousers off.
Yeah.
Trackies on.
You don't you do put something else on then.
Yeah, I don't like I don't walk around the house like Winnie the Pooh. But yeah. It gets cold.
Members isn't broken again. There's no way. Don't tell me that. We've also got a bunch of members already. We've got 26 members already, so it can't be broken. Yeah. Dan.
I have noticed that a lot of the people in chat who have said that the Thanes didn't ask for this are the Thanes who asked for it. You tend quite quickly.
They do that a lot, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching them trying to work out the business this morning in Thanes WhatsApp, and it was hilarious. Because they come, they eventually come to the same, when they work through it logically and think about everything, they get to the same conclusions that we get to. They've just got there 3 to 6 months later than we did. So,
yeah.
Anywho, welcome back to the channel, like I say. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a fresh month, which is amazing for a couple of reasons. We're in Halloween month. I don't really care about Halloween. Joe does. We're also, therefore, a little bit closer to Christmas month. I do care about that one, because Christmas month is not only Christmas month, but Christmas month is also Liam and Joe birthday month, which is amazing. And we're getting close to the end of the year. And this is the first year, I think, it is, where I've been 100% solo. Because last year, at the start of the year, DZ existed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So at the start of last year, I wasn't 100% solo until I got dumped in April. And now this year we're actually going to close out, if the next 3 months go like the last 9 months, we're actually going to close out my first solo year, and I will have considered it a monumental success.
So my phone, my Google Maps for some reason gives me notifications on the trips I did this day last year or this day last, and I think it was last week, maybe the week before, I had a notification where basically it goes, this is the journey you took. So I went from my house to your house to here to Morrison's near your house to your house, and then I was there for a few hours. So it was the day where you brought me here to look at this place for the first time.
It was, yeah. It's mad to think that it's next month. Now we're in October. It's officially next month that it was a year since we've been in here. I feel like I might have to work out roughly what weekend it is, and maybe if you can be free, we do a celebratory anniversary stream from the studio.
Yeah.
On a Saturday.
Yeah.
I feel that could be cool.
Yeah. And you gift me a Thunderhawk.
No.
A full-size one.
No.
Don't skip.
If the studio ever got its hands on a Thunderhawk, Joe, it would be Ultramarines blue.
Yeah, you can build it and paint it.
That's fine.
I've seen the effort that goes into one of those. I'm not doing it twice. It's one and done for Joe.
So we're not even, so we're a full year, like it's exciting. But it also means with the start of the month. Start of the month also means that YouTube does that cruel little trick on me. So YouTube does a revenue tracker. In my little YouTube Studio app, it does lots of statistics, analytics and data. And one of the things it does is a revenue tracker. At the start of the month, it goes, 0, you've got £0 for October so far.
Yeah.
So the first 2 weeks is awful. Because the first 2 weeks in the month, you're like, not going to be able to pay all the bills. Then eventually it settles. Which means
the
it's on
joys
you.
of working for yourself, though.
Which means it is. I do like working for myself. I'm not complaining. Anyway, today's Liam and Joe show, I think, is also potentially going to attract slightly lower numbers of viewers. And the reason being, it's not 40k specifically or AOS, although knowing us, we'll fuck off on different tangents and talk about all manner of different things. But today, I actually want to talk about Middle-earth strategy battle game. Mm-hmm. So I opened up, what I always do on a morning, before Liam and Joe show is I open up the Warhammer community page, I have a look at the Warhammer community page, I see if there's a topic there that I want to talk about. And the first one it showed me today was a new model of some sort, singular model, I can't remember what or why. And I was like, cool, and I clicked on off of it and it took me straight to another article because the new Warhammer community page is all over the fucking place. But what it did is it took me to the box set for the new War of the Rohirrim.
Yep.
The new box set that's coming out, which I was already quite interested in, but unsure whether I was going to take the plunge or not. And then Pridders one night last week paid for 100 memberships to get us to do it. How many members so that you definitely do Middle-earth strategy battle with a new box?
I remember.
And he did it last week. So I took a glance at that article. Importantly, what I also looked at was the models in that article. Now, I don't know what you lot in chat think, but I have heard this phrase 1 billion times. And the phrase is, Middle-earth strategy battle game is the best game Games Workshop have ever made.
It's the best game you never played.
I've heard that as well.
Yeah.
So many times.
Also relevant to Titanicus.
I've heard it. I have heard it about Titanicus, but I've never heard it. I've not heard it as many times about Titanicus as I've heard about Middle-earth.
Yeah, I played Lord of the Rings when it first came out, and then I didn't play it again for years until I worked at Games Workshop, and I played it twice when I worked at Games Workshop. The first time was when I had to give someone a tutorial on how to play it. So basically, the guy came in, my friend Matt came in with his boy, and they were like, we were allowed to play Lord of the Rings. And I was like, I don't know how to play Lord of the Rings, despite the fact that I work for Games Workshop. So let's learn to play Lord of the Rings together. So we got the book out, and we all sat there and learned to do all the phases together. That was really good. And the second time, we came back a week later and played another game. And then I didn't touch it again until a couple of years ago.
Okay.
I collected a small Ranger Force because we were doing one in the shop I was working in. I played the game, never touched it again.
Why?
Because much like what happens all the time as a group of friends, you're like, let's play this new thing. we went through the effort of doing it. We played it once, and then we're like, let's play it next week. And then no one showed up the week after,
Yeah.
and then the week after, and then I was like, I give up. I can't bother. But now I'm here, and I can force you to do things.
I mean, you can't.
And you're excited, but you like Lord of the Rings.
I fucking love
So
Lord
I
of the
can
Rings.
get you to play Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is a game that I have forever been interested in, simply because it's Lord of the Rings. But I have also frequently heard this, it's the best game they've ever made mantra. And what's happened to me historically, this is why the stream title is poignant. What's happened to me historically is I've been like, I want to get into Lord of the Rings. I want to get into, I want to be able to recreate my favourite films and my favourite narrative setting on the tabletop, which is the reason why a lot of people would like things like 40k, similar reasons.
Yeah.
And I go to the website, and I click on Lord of the Rings, on Middle-earth, I look at the models, and I shut the website down, and I stop thinking about it after that. Because I am a person, unfortunately, I am 100%, without doubt, a model snob.
Yeah.
I just am. I think to some extent we are incredibly spoilt with the models that Games Workshop put out in terms of modern 40k models and AOS models.
Yeah.
And even modern Heresy models are beautiful
like-
kits nowadays.
If you look at things, like obviously the Rohirrim are being replaced now, but like the Minas Tirith men, the Uruk-hai, the Rohirrim, the Goblin range, the Moria Goblin range, those are like 20 years old now.
Yeah.
And they
look
show
20. Yeah, they look
They
20 years
show it.
old.
it.
I wanted to get into Lord of the Rings for ages because it's my favourite narrative. But every time I look at the models, I'm like, it puts me off. No matter the fact that so many people have said to me, it's the best game they've ever made. It's the best game you've never played. I've heard that so many times, and that's part of why I've always gone back to it and gone, oh, maybe. Now, the new box set showed up, and I was teetering on the edge, and Pridders pushed us over the edge. But going back into that article today and looking back at the models that they've showcased in that box set, if they start to refresh all of the races within Middle-earth Strategy Battle Game and all the models of the Middle-earth Strategy Battle Game to up-to-date plastic kits, honestly, I'm in fucking danger.
Yeah.
Because I think that could be absolutely game-changing.
Oh, man. I want new Rohirrim horses. I want new Rohirrim Royal Guard, because those models, those metal kits are showing their age. Although Games Workshop, oddly, it's like 12 quid for like 4 models.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I want Osgiliath veterans to come back. The model range is great. One army I never liked was goblins.
If they don't support the model range, it could. So we will be buying the new box, and we'll be playing the contents of the box. What will put me off expanding is if they go, yeah, that's all you're getting. Yeah. That will put me off expanding, because some of the old stuff, forget even the medium in which the product is made in, it just looks bad anyway.
What they need to do is obviously they need to do a new plastic Helm's Deep. Because they released a Helm's Deep many years ago, but it's like getting older hen's teeth.
I don't think I could handle being responsible for Boromir dying again.
Oh my god! So I watched a great video on Facebook this morning. It was Sean Bean on an interview with Jonathan Ross.
Yeah.
Recently, it's him and like Michelle Keegan and someone else. And Sean Bean has turned into the oldest old man in England. Like, he's so like old, not really talk much dad now.
Okay.
He's just like, yeah, you know, whatever, but in a northern accent.
Also, by the way, sorry, carry on.
And basically, he was just sat there on Jonathan Ross talking about his garden and his dad's garden and stuff. It's just like proper boring talk with granddad.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Sean Bean.
Do you still love him though?
I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It was great.
Proper British television.
Yeah.
Old man northern actor talks about garden.
Yeah.
I have an idea, but off topic slightly. Chat, if you got comments on Lord of the Rings and Middle Earth, okay. Let me round out this little section before I talk about the next thing. So my gut instinct is, if they start, and I don't think they're going to support the model range in the speed in which they support it with 40k or AOS. I'm not expecting them to. However, I also know a significant number of people, even the guys at Mini Wargaming, started the hobby with Lord of the Rings. They didn't start the hobby with 40k. Yeah. If they now start to apply their modern day model sculpting and printing techniques to Lord of the Rings, that could be quite interesting.
Well, my personal opinion is that despite the fact that the Games Workshop always price themselves out of the market on it, the Lord of the Rings terrain is the best terrain they sell.
Oh, 100%, yeah, absolutely. So if they do that, if they do upgrade the kits and update the kits to some of the more latter qualities, I feel like that could be. I feel like often from when I've spoken to people, the one thing that's held people back from Middle Earth is twofold. One is the kits, and two is not enough people to play with.
Do you know what they need to do?
You relieve the issue of the kits so that more people buy into them. Potentially, you also solve problem two.
I remember when the Lord of the Rings films were out, and this is what the Games Workshop need to do now. What they should have done with Space Marine, and they didn't. Or Space Marine 2. They didn't, and they need to with Lord of the Rings. Release it around the same time as the thing that it's associated with. So the War of the Rohirrim. But also, I remember when I finished school and walk into town, because I didn't want to get the school bus home, so I'd walk around town and I'd go into Woolworths and there was Lord of the Rings models in there.
Yeah.
You'd go to Everett Smith's and there's Lord of the Rings models in there. Yeah. And you'd go into charity shops and there's Lord of the Rings models in there. You basically go everywhere. You couldn't throw a stick without hitting Lord of the Rings. Right?
They're getting slightly better. Like they've recently made some slight tweaks and changes to the website. So it's got like new to Warhammer as a section. And it's got As Seen in Space Marine 2 as a section. It's interesting. Yeah. I'm interested. If they just release this box, I'll probably be happy just playing with this box and buying a couple of extra models that I quite like. Like there's a couple of the Gandalf models I really like and stuff like that. But I don't think I'll get into it as a big game. If they start releasing lots and lots of new kits, the potential for Joe and I to build Helm's Deep on the table and all sorts is fucking dangerous. Yeah. I want to know what you guys think. Here's my second part.
Full Osgiliath.
Yeah. So start chucking chats in. After I talk about this next 5-minute thing, we'll jump into the gifted memberships in the chat, and then that's kind of how the format will work. Here's my kind of loose plan for Liam and Joe shows from the chairs. Because the Thane said they want them back in the chairs and they want them more interactive, and they got my brain working. Don't look so concerned.
Yeah. I always find that this always involves more work for me.
No. It doesn't involve any more work for you at all.
Oh, fine, carry on.
So here's my thought, right? Here's what I'm thinking, because what we've also done historically is run over. So first half, we have an hour and a half show. So Luce and I have been talking about the evening shows back at home, and I'm trying to structure them slightly more because coming up with topics 5 times a week, every single week that we could talk about for an hour and a half is quite difficult and can be a bit stressful. So I'm trying to structure the shows to relieve pressure a little bit. And here's what I'm thinking for Liam and Joe shows, right? First half an hour, we talk about the topic like we just have. We're almost half an hour in, okay? Second half an hour, we then go through chat with the super chats that are relevant to the topic we've just talked about.
Yeah.
Third half an hour, we have a group of members who we have let down. When I say we, I mean me. But we collectively have let down.
Yeah, a royal we.
Yeah. The Haskell members.
Who are they?
Do you know the one thing that they get? 2 things. They get an additional discount on merchandise.
Yeah.
And they get behind the scenes content.
Oh.
Do you know how much behind the scenes content I post?
Is it somewhere between none and 0?
It's like 1 every 6 months. I'm really bad at it. What if we also create a Haskell's questions section in Discord, and for the third half an hour, we can discuss some of those things. We're not guaranteed to get through all of them. The only way to guarantee we'll get through it is by super chatting. But we put a section that Haskell's can put things in there for us to talk about.
Yeah?
What do you reckon?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let me know what you think, chat. And then I'm basically trying to structure the show so we have more of a...
What colour symbol with Haskell's?
In what way?
I can see yellow and red.
No, so on YouTube, those symbols are irrelevant to the level. The symbols on YouTube are relevant to the length of time you've had a membership.
Oh, yeah.
So green circles are brand new members, and then it's like 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, etc. So I think blue and red is 24 months, and then there's one where it's got a silver icon, which is 36 months, and the one that's got a gold icon is 48 months, etc. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. I don't know if you guys like the idea or not. We always want to encourage people to upgrade memberships.
Yeah.
Because I was talking
money. Liam likes to get bundles of it and go whoosh, and then sit there as it rains down on top of his head.
Yeah, I like to get Joe to pick it up on his hands and knees and stuff it back in my pants.
Yeah.
But honestly, I was talking this morning in the Thames about we had an ad opportunity which I'm going to unfortunately turn down. There's reasons, I won't go into it now. We're in a unique position where we are 99% fan funded, basically. Actually, I think it's like 80 98%, but whatever. We're 99% fan funded. So we always want to encourage people to upgrade memberships. And I always want each upgrade to seem like it's worth it and that we're actually offering something. There's too many channels that I watch and follow. I love them all. I love all these channels. But I look at their membership tiers, I'm like, I don't know what would encourage me to take anything other than your base membership.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of membership tiers where they'll say things like priority gaming with the creator.
Yeah.
Like, when was the last time you did that? 2 years ago.
Luxury night out dogging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I realised that with her scarves, I have said I've done that thing where I've gone behind the scenes content and then I don't do it because I forget. And I could go, I need to get better, but I keep forgetting it. So I'm just not gonna.
I suppose I could do it. I could just post into like a Huskarls group from home. Only the things I can.
Well, that's the other problem as well.
I put a picture up the other day to the Thanes. I put 2 pictures up because they asked me what I was working on. And I realised in the first picture I put up, there was something in the background. I was like, oh no, delete. Off it goes. We'll all pretend we didn't see that.
Well, that's the other problem with behind the scenes content is quite often, I reckon 50% plus of the time, what we're doing behind the scenes is stuff we can't share with the skulls.
And a lot of the time where I work, I've got a tablet, which is behind my, so every time I have to post a picture, everyone knows what I'm watching. Normally Archer.
Oh yeah, not the hub.
Not whilst I'm working.
No?
Table will shake too much.
Okay. A Chinese meal, you're not getting that, no? No, that's for the top level, 6.5 grand's worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would we do for 6.5 grand?
There's not like I wouldn't do 6.5 grand, Joe.
I know, but like if they were going to pay us 6.5 grand for something, because what was it, like a hand job in a back alley in Warminster or something?
You got the choice of 3 and all of them were fucking embarrassing. Yeah. I don't know. If we were to produce a service whereby you can pay a fee, and depending on what you pay, depending on is the thing that you're buying. So you're essentially buying something. Yeah. Because that's what these other people have done, haven't they? I would, for that amount of money or anything even remotely close, I would want it to be particularly special. I don't know how we make it work.
I think for 6.5 grand, I'd use 3 to buy myself a new car, and then come and pick you up from your house, drive to Warhammer World, play a game, and I'll drop you home. But I'll buy you a KFC.
But that's still not worth 6.5 grand, Joe. This is my point.
It is to me because I get a new car.
Because
that little red light is not turning itself off in my car.
No, it won't. No, it's weird. But the car isn't made by the Dempsey Mechanicus. ABS won't fix itself.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've tried praying to it and crying, mostly crying.
I don't know. It would need to be of exceptional value. Yeah. Well, no, it doesn't even need to be exceptional value. It would need to be something worth actually, something people want. I've thought about doing studio days for people, charging a fee for studio days, where you come into the studio for a day and you're present for the whole day's worth of content and photos. So you get actually a live behind the scenes experience. Yeah. It wouldn't be 6.5 grand though.
6.5 grand, like I'd get like an adult baby carrier to carry them around on my back the whole day.
Yeah. Your picture on the wall behind the gaming table. No, because I feel like you lot are mad enough that we start to run out of space. I still haven't done my wall of legends yet. I still need to do my wall of legends. I still need to go through. I still need to data mine all of the email addresses of the people that's donated to help build this fucking place, and then put all the names and then do my wall of legends. I haven't done that yet.
What you could do is like 6.5 grand, get a plaque made that's like a shield, but it has to be that person's actual family crest. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
I still don't think that's worth that much money, Joe. I don't think it is, mate. This is the problem. Obviously, I think typically when you're doing a crowdfunding thing of any sort, the thing is never worth the value. Of course it isn't, because then the people wouldn't be making money from it.
Like 6.5, considering how much people like, what are they called? They sponsor us, painting people.
Siege,
thank you. Like for 6.5 grand, I'd paint someone a 2,000. I'd buy the models and paint the 2,000 point army out of that 6.5 grand. I'd want the money though.
Would you?
I wouldn't give you the remaining money because I'm not getting anything out of that.
Fan fun.
There you go. Joe's new commission painting service. 6.5 grand every time.
Thank you, Roland Bain, for 10 gifted memberships.
He's just moving swiftly on.
Yeah.
Oh. Coming up with business ideas.
You give him a wish?
I'm trying to find a way of getting us £6,500 every time.
No, that's not how it works.
Oh, hand job. Both of us with our eyes closed, wearing tea cozies
Yeah.
on our heads.
I have had to be honest with you, I have had a couple of people recently who have private messaged me and said, I think you should consider crowdfunding. And I'm like, I don't know why we would crowdfund. We could make a lot of improvements to the studio. If we had decent bank account balance, we could make a lot of improvements to the studio.
Yeah.
We could alleviate a significant amount of stress from you and your painting.
Yeah.
Because we could go to companies like Siege and be like, we want a whole blah army done.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot we could do. There's a lot we could do if we crowdfunded. But I feel like everything we'd be crowdfunding is nice to have rather than needed. And so I'm not massively comfortable at that point. And I feel like, again, we're 98% fan funded. Like, we already take a lot from these people, and they're already incredibly generous.
Take more.
And I feel like asking to crowdfund from the people that essentially already crowdfund us, just on a monthly basis, is a bit of a cunt trick.
Yeah.
And then
it won't be long until you see one of the Thanes at like a cash point, and you behind them with like a wooden stick in your coat, pointing at their back.
Yeah. So what I'd probably wait until we're getting close to the opening of Hobby House and maybe run a crowdfunder for Hobby House, because the more we raise there, the bigger, essentially, the more stock we're going to have, the more it will be available, etc., etc. So there's a possibility that we might do something like it in the future, but I'm just not massively comfortable with it at the moment. I don't feel like we could crowdfund things like new armies. We could create a studio upgrade crowdfunder. I'd love to know what people actually think about it, because I feel like it would majority come across as negative. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't look at crowdfunding ideas positively. So, and I'd have to work out how we actually give something meaningful and worthwhile back to those who are supporting it. Because I've seen a lot of crowdfunders and they go, for 150 quid, you get this. And I'm like, that's bullshit. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe value is incredibly subjective and I'm completely wrong. Anyway, Roland Bain, thank you for 10 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Roland Bain. Oh, you're looking at me.
Well, it's Joe Hopes.
Yeah.
No one cares about Liam Hopes. They're like loose Hopes at 20 gifted.
Yeah. I hope that you find a cute baby animal and become an overnight internet sensation by creating its own social media page, much like the much like Wu Dang the hippo and
we're on that. Okay, we're on that.
And Biscuits the seal and what's his name? Oh, Chunky Penguin Man.
Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah. Both fuzzy, both like waddly, totter around a lot.
Yeah.
Eat a lot of fish.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted. Steak Monkey, thank you for the 5. I was joking in Thanes when I said it was Liam and Joe Middle-earth strategy battle game show to wind up Star. I didn't mean for this to happen. I mean, I didn't see that in Thanes, to be honest with you, but yeah, that is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Not to wind up Star, though.
Your punishment would be to come and put good internet in my house.
I think it's because Star's asleep and she's mad for Middle-earth strategy battle game.
I mean, Star's mad for anything that's made of plastic.
Yeah.
In like gaming terms.
Yeah. Pedro the Penguin. Pesto the Penguin.
Pesto, that's his name.
Yeah.
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 But now there's more. There's a girl on TikTok who's basically created this like triumphant thing where there's like Pesto, who's like a wizard, and then the hippo, who's like the king. Oh no, there's a panda that's the king, and then the hippo's like Lancelot. Basically, she's filling the full 28 seats of the round table with different cute animals. It's great.
I'm into it. Steak Monkey, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you. I hope that you stop receiving junk mail as physical post at your house forever.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We put a sign up on our door.
Yeah.
No canvassing, no junk mail, no blah, no blah, no blah. None of it stopped. None of it stopped.
They don't care.
And then Lou said to the Royal Mail lady, she's like, can you read? And she went, oh, you have to fill in a form.
Yeah. Because they don't have a choice. Because the companies pay the post office to deliver it. It has to be delivered.
We have a sign that says, fuck off. We even get like, it's even worse when we get like, because she's like, people aren't reading the signs, and they're still putting charity bags through our doors. Like, they absolutely are reading the signs, but they're also paid per bag they deliver. So they don't give a fuck, Luce.
No.
It's a strong hope, that one, Stick Monkey. No more junk mail. No more physical junk mail. It was a strong hope. Thank you so much, you legend. Thank you so much, Kaz, for the 5, who says, #only chairs.
Thank you, Kaz.
You asked for it, chat.
Yeah.
Specifically the things.
If it fails, it's your fault.
Andrew Cameron, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Andrew. I hope that you...
How are you already out?
Honestly, the problem is I've got to...
I hope the next time...
I don't want to start repeating, that's the problem.
I hope the next time you park in any kind of car park, someone doesn't park in the space next to you, but so far up to or over the line that you can no longer open your driver's door.
Oh my God, I went to Salisbury on Sunday. We had a child-free Sunday, or just child-free day. Not happened since before Christmas. So me and the missus went to Salisbury and went to the multi-story. Just aside to the aside, when they build a multi-story car park and they put the fucking pillars in, right? Why do they count that as part of the parking space? Why do they never account for the pillars for a start? So I had to park next to the pillar so my partner could get out because her door was behind the pillar, so it opened nice and wide. It's got all the space. Whereas there was literally less than a foot between me and the car next to me, so I had to climb over.
It's annoying, isn't it?
I hope that never happens to you ever again.
Yeah. Exactly. See, so you're saying it's a good wish.
Yeah, it's a good wish.
There you go.
Yeah.
I nailed it for you, Andrew. I got your back, mate. Luke, thank you for the 1 gifted. Prentice, thank you for the 5. The chairs are back. Can't wait for Middle Earth Strategy Battle Game. Can Joe make a Helm's Deep board and film it all?
If you supply me with the Helm's Deep terrain, then yes.
Yeah. It comes down to cost. Maybe we're back on that crowdfunder already.
So I'll do it, but you have to provide me with the tools to do it.
Yeah.
You know? When people are like, Joe, why aren't you playing your Tyranid army with free exocrines? And I'm like, because I don't own any exocrines.
Yeah.
No, we'll get some. No.
Well, first of all, models cost. Yeah. Secondly, his time to build and paint it costs.
Yeah.
So.
But also, my example, 3 exocrines, that's nearly 180 quid from Games Workshop for less than 400 points in my army.
And then what happens is that Joe then stops doing what he's doing to paint the 3 exocrines, and then 2 weeks later, someone's like, why haven't we got any new World Eaters units? That's how it goes. Yeah. That's the world of YouTube. Thank you so much, Crucified Justified, for the 50 Swedish Corona. Corona. You can go to a goldsmith and get your wedding ring resized. Yeah, or, right. This comes from last night's discussion. So my wedding ring stopped fitting me. Basically, the more I went to the gym, my hands grew a bit.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get it off for ages. And in the end, I had to literally cool my finger down with ice, lubricate it, and slide my wedding ring off.
Doesn't matter where I go, I can always get it off.
Right?
Yeah.
So I got my wedding ring off, and then I was like, you are right, Crucified Justified. I could have just resized it. Or I could have used it as an excuse.
Did Luce get a new ring as well?
She got a new ring ages ago,
Yeah.
So I could have used it as an excuse to replace my wedding ring. Now, my wedding ring as it was a matching one with Lucy's ring that she got cut off a few years ago. Because when she was pregnant with, I think it was our youngest, she got a lot of water retention. Her fingers really swelled up. And I was like, you probably need to take your rings off. And she flat refused because she doesn't like taking her rings off because it's a wedding ring, an engagement ring. And in the end, it got to a point where it was starting to cut off the circulation to her finger, so she had to get it cut off, right?
Oh.
And I was like, she's like, are you mad? I was like, no, not at all, because your health comes first. So she was like, I'll buy a new one, I'll get a new wedding ring. I was like, that's fine. And she did, she replaced her wedding ring. So she has a band that she wears as her wedding ring. So when mine started, I was like, I want to use this excuse, and I already knew which one I wanted to buy. This one.
Yeah.
Which is a Lord of the Rings ring.
The One Ring.
It is the One Ring. It's not quite the One Ring, because if you go onto the Jens Hansen website, which is the ring makers that made the rings for the films, right? You get 3 options. You get some plated one, which is like $100 or something. You get a sterling silver one, which this is, which is a few $100s, or you can buy an actual gold one, which is $1,999. Now, I wanted the gold one. I didn't have $1,999. So I bought the 925 sterling silver one, which is the same material that my chain is in, my other ring that I wear. Every jewelry I wear is 925 sterling silver. The reason why this came up last night is because this ring has started to cause me to have a rash around my fingerlet and trash the skin. And I don't know why, because everyone in chat was like, it's an allergic reaction. I was like, yeah, but I wear a 925 sterling silver ring on my finger. I wear a 925 sterling chain on my neck. I don't get the reaction anywhere else.
Maybe it's like, maybe you've got like greasy hands.
No, so Luce thinks what's going on is this one has the inscription on the inside as well.
Oh,
and
so
she thinks
the ridges.
Shit's getting inside there, or water, or soapy water, or whatever's getting inside there, being trapped between my finger and the ring because I've got soapy water stuck inside where all the grooves and stuff are, and that's what's causing the irritation.
Perfect excuse to never do the washing up.
I said to so I talked about this last night. I said to Liz, I was like, I've decided I've solved my ring-based problem, and she was like, okay, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just going to put it on. She was causing your skin to blister. I was like, yeah, eventually it'll stop.
I mean, your hand will eventually get used to it.
So she's like, so your plan is just to power through? I was like, man up and power through. That's what we're going to do.
Rub some dirt in it.
So yeah, that's the story. So I know I can get it resized, but I didn't want to get it resized. I wanted my fancy ring, right?
Napalm says put nail polish on the inside of it.
It's not a reaction. It's look at contact dermatitis. So Luce was like dermatitis. Luce was like. She said, take the ring off, and then she was about doing something to the inside to fill in all the grooves. I was like, I don't want to fill in all the grooves. I want to leave it as it fucking is. Otherwise, it's not an original one made by Jens Hansen.
You could put like clear coat, like gloss on the inside.
That's what she was saying. I was like, or just leave it and power through. Thank you for the 5 anyway, dude.
We're going to see how long that lasts.
Crumpets Panda, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you. I hope that you get two free tyres next time you put your car in to get its tyres changed. So if you get like a set of 4, you get 2 free. Yeah.
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen? You're blessed with 10 minutes, exactly.
That's me.
I feel like just man up and leave it, and I'll get used to it. Or it'll bleed. Who knows?
Well, that's a weird sneeze cough thing.
Yeah. I also saw Dan, the editor, who was like, I've destroyed some rings in my time. Or no, resize, I think he said. Stick Monkey, thank you for the 5. In our defence, we're doing it without looking at your accounts and with redacted screenshots. I reckon we do a decent job considering, yeah, you do. We're talking about them planning the future of the channel. You do all right. And I, in all seriousness, as you can probably attest to now, Mr. Sean, I still look and watch and then go, okay, there's an idea there. Hence the Haskell-based idea. Because we've done bad for that. Although I was like, oh, well, I'll mention the Haskell tier idea out loud. We'll get 10 upgrades come through. And I'll be like, okay, we'll do it on Thursday. It didn't work. Rambo, thank you for the 2. Thane's birthday party event, what? I think that last word makes sense, yeah. What?
When?
Eh? Harborn, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships, Mr. The Harborn of the Vortex Games Variety.
I hope next time you purchase something on the internet through your phone, you don't have to then log into your bank to
Approve purchase.
approve it. I fucking hate that. The whole point of like quick paying for stuff, and you still. I hope that never happens to you ever again. You know, Hardball, because you gift all the time. Never again will you have to go and approve of a payment that you've tried to do. Grips my shit.
Get your finger coated in metal. That's a great idea.
Like,
you can always slide it on your cock. I can't escapade it, fall off.
you could put some wax on the inside.
I don't have the girth for that.
Wax your finger every day.
No, or I could just leave it on. It'll be fine. I'll get used to it. All right. Thank you anyway, Harborn, for the 5 gifted. Electman, thank you for the 2. I'd like your thoughts on the iOS balance update. I can't. I would love to be able to, Electman, give you my thoughts on the iOS balance update, but I don't know anywhere near enough about the game or the competitive state of the game, because at the moment this is just my game I play for fun, to even remotely close a comment. I've looked through it, I've seen some of the changes. I know that they've wound Nighthaunt down a little bit. There's a couple of points changes where I thought, that's interesting. I think that might go the wrong way.
Electman, you'll hear our thoughts on the 40k one when that happens relatively soon, I guess.
But yeah, I like.
Rumours floating.
I'd actually love to be able to give you my impressions of the iOS balance update, but I don't feel like I know enough to actually pass judgment.
All I know is that the high elf, not our high elves, are still boring.
I'll
say that for him now. You don't even play.
I do know that the Nurgle Demon Mortal Wound thing that annoyed the shit out of me last Tuesday has got more annoying.
Yeah.
I know that much.
I'm here for that.
There you go. Thank you, Kazarian, for the 10. I was so hyped for the Barlin's Tomb release they did. Then saw the Hobbit Gimli models look like melted plastic goop piles. I was like, oh, truly, this is a re-release. And hard passed. New sculpts equals sold. Strong agree.
Yeah, they do every once in a while just keep going. Here's the Fellowship box set that we made 20 years ago, released again in a different box set.
Yeah, but the same models.
Yeah, which is a shame. They are, obviously, because it's 20 years old, that box set, it is a very beloved set of models. But the problem is the people that bought it then probably still have it now. Or they got rid of it and got a new version, or just moved on. 'Cause what really bugs me about things that Games Workshop do in terms of releasing these little box sets of models, they go, let's just make up a game on the spot that uses the models and we'll just sell that box set, kind of thing. And they're putting so much effort into these weird little shitty games when they could just be putting that effort somewhere else. They just go, here's the Fellowship, here's a bunch of goblins, here's some little bits of terrain to make Barlin's Tomb, and then here's a really simplified version of the Lord of the Rings rules.
Yeah.
And just go from there. Not like, just like, oh, it's got a bunch of cards that you use and a bunch of little scrapbook and things.
Yeah. The core of it's still pretty ugly. It's like putting Eddie in a bikini. Yeah. The bikini might be sexy as hell. It's still Eddie in a bikini.
It's like they created an entirely new sub-game to sell Titus. Just sell Titus on his own.
You did. Yeah, I agree.
They didn't need to make up a game for it. They could have just sold him as a model.
That box set, I think we worked out it came out at £42.50, I think people were saying at the weekend.
Someone saying it.
And I know a couple of people spoke to the local gaming stores who got 2 to 3 copies for a whole store. The thing so let's pause the Lord of the Rings chat for a minute. The Titus box set fiasco, I've come to the conclusion is actually really fucking pissed me off.
Oh.
Right? I'll explain, because I feel like it's not without merit. Why would you release a box set with Titus in it that has that's called the starter set with some Tyranids in and some snips and some glue and some snips and some paints and a paintbrush? Why would you release that set?
To get new players?
Bingo. Right? People have played the game who want to go to Games Workshop and they go, what is this thing that I'm interested in? What is this thing? Oh, there is Titus from the game, right?
Yeah.
There's the Titus from the game. I want to start playing this game, so I'm going to get myself started with a starter box which has the model in from the game that I've just been playing. Okay?
Yeah.
If that was truly their intent, why do they only sell it in person and only 5 to 8 copies per store?
Yeah.
That is actually a cash grab. How many fucking current Space Marine players can we sell Titus as a model to and inflate the price by adding 10 termagants and some paints?
Yeah.
It's a fucking horrible move. And I feel like it's an ideal opportunity to pull tons of people into the hobby.
Yeah. Why wasn't it available on the website?
Limited sets, not available online, only available in store, is not about bringing people into the hobby. No. It's a fucking cash grab. That's all it is.
But a really bad one.
A really bad one.
Yeah. Because they could have sold that model for 25 quid as one of their commemorative series things. They could have just put it up for sale. The day the Space Marine 2 went live, he's live now. Fill your boots.
It was an awful move. It's a terrible move by Games Workshop. And every time they do something good, and they make an improvement somewhere, they are. I think at the moment they feel like 100% a 1 step forward, 2 steps back company.
Yeah, they're very much their own worst enemy.
1 step forward, we do something really good, and I'm like, oh, finally, I could be positive about something. They've done something good, and they go, oh, also we're doing this and this. I'm like, you fucking clowns. On top of which, I'm sorry, the Games Workshop sculptors are some of the most talented people out there. You look at some of the things they create. Titus, Space Marine 2, probably the biggest Warhammer thing in existence right now.
Yeah.
Because it's a game that has appealed to so many more people than just tabletop gamers. We got a person who's going to sculpt the Titus model. And he's basically put arms and legs on a potato. What was he thinking? For clarity, I ordered the model 2 months ago well, not 2 months ago, just as Space Marine 2 was getting close to release, I ordered the model on eBay from a guy in America, and I got very lucky. They clearly didn't know what they had. I bought it for £20, right? It turned up in the post last week, and I made the model last week. And after making the model last week, I was like, I'm not impressed.
It's not even
it's not the camera angle. It's just a shit model.
It's not even accurate to the game either.
It's not, no.
I saw someone do I've bought the Titus model, and then it was like, I've bought it, I'm now going to make it into Titus. And the first thing they did was like drill holes in all the shoulder pads and in the knee sections to then put little ball bearings in to replicate the studs that he does actually have on his armour.
It's a bad model. It's a bad sculpt. It's a bad design.
I like the idea of it. I just think, again, it's just like a good idea, poorly executed. Because obviously we had the Warhammer Heroes models out the other day, and they're beautiful models. They're really, really nice.
You can take, I reckon, it would take a few quid, to be fair. It wouldn't be the cheapest thing in the world. But if you take some of the dynamic posing from some of the Assault Intercessor on foot models, you take some stuff from bits from the Stern Guard kit, blah, 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 you can kit bash yourself a much nicer Titus.
I've seen a lot of people who have converted up the Death Watch version of Titus, and he looks really good. One thing that has bugged me slightly about the Warhammer here, aside to the side, the Warhammer Heroes set, I saw the Age of Sigmar one the other day, and I've never been more disappointed in my life for Warhammer Heroes, because all they've done is taken existing push-fit models and given them a fancy base.
But I just don't understand the incompetence of this company sometimes. You have a game like Space Marine 2 with the budget that's been put into it. So what you do is you create a derpy shit model that's not very, I'm sorry GW, it's not very good. There are so many nicer sculpts that you've made. He's a bad model. He's not a nice model.
If you look at every single commemorative series model they've done, the Warhammer Plus models, the store birthday exclusive models, like those are all incredible. So that's the level you want for your fancy space.
I agree. So you build a ship model.
Yeah.
You then only release it to in-store, right? Where gamers who play Space Marine 2 for the first time, what are they going to do if they want to learn about Space Marines? They're gamers, remember? What are they going to do?
I don't know.
Google search.
Google search.
Google search.
Yeah.
It's the first thing they do. So they're going to come across the Games Workshop website, put in Space Marine, or maybe they'll type in Titus because they're used to the game.
Yeah.
Box set, only in store.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Doesn't make any sense.
Well, they almost...
You must go to the store where half of them be like, well, I don't know where that fucking shop is.
Do you know what they should have done?
Be less shit.
Yes. Do you know what they should have done? And this is a suggestion that I feel like Games Workshop did a really good job of it, and then it kind of gave up, and they did a good job. They do the monthly model, the new monthly model.
In the shop?
In the shop.
Yeah.
Right. If you want to keep it to store exclusive, right, I get that, because you want people walking in the shops, they did the free monthly model. Like they did and it's like a push-fit person on a single frame. It used to be the Intercessor with the fancy base, and then it was the Stormcast. And then randomly they threw out the fucking Deathwing Terminator box set, which I was talking to people in Games Workshop stores, like, I've never seen anything move out that door quicker. Literally, they had I had 100 gone in less than a day. Why wasn't Titus a free in-store model?
Well, here's another thing as well, right?
If you want free advertising for that game, you want people to buy Space Marines.
Because they weren't about bringing people in. This launch box set is bullshit. I would be very interested to know how many of these Titus launch box sets were sold to new players.
None, I imagine.
You have a ton of Space Marine players at the moment who've got 10 Termagants on eBay.
Yeah.
That's what's going on, Joe.
Yeah. Second-hand market for Termagants just crashed.
That's what's going on.
Yeah.
They haven't sold these for new players. They've not tried to bring new players in at all. They've tried to get rid of all their spare Titus models to current Space Marine players and overinflated the price by making it look like a starter set. It's bullshit. The other thing as well is, by the way, not only is the model design terrible, but it was made in that fucking shit plastic as well. It wasn't their premium normal plastic, it was shit plastic. And you know it's shit when you've got the attachment points to the model is a round tube rather than the normal plastic sprue shape. Shit plastic.
Yeah. This is look at the damn statue they made. The fancy limited edition statue where they made 400 and they gave most of them away to gaming content creators.
They don't. Anyway. Thank you, Kazarian, for that 10.
He said, I want to have a really fun, positive stream today.
I did. I'm in a good mood.
And I'm like, meh, say it.
I'm in
say
a
the bad
good
things.
mood today. I just feel like the tightest thing around Space Marine 2 was a cash grab that they did badly. And I don't even hate companies for doing cash grabs. I don't hate companies doing cash grabs at all.
No.
Just don't do them badly. And they did them badly.
Yeah.
Did we say thank you? We haven't yet. Thank you, Stu Will, for the 5 gifted memberships. You got to thank?
I hope, Stu Will, that you are given the new Space Marine 2 box set as a Christmas present.
Why?
But
Why would
now.
you wish that? Why do you hate him? I've just told you that it's the shittest model and it's awful and it's terrible plastic.
I still fucking want it though. I don't have a tyre. You've got a tyres. I don't have a tyres, and I want a tyres.
Why? Do you know he doesn't even come with a moulded Ultramarine shoulder pad? It's plain.
Really?
I've swapped one in. It's plain.
I want one so I can convert him into a good one. I want him so I can convert him into a cool model that I can like paint up nicely and put in like a little box on my shelf and be like, I did that. I haven't done that with a model before. Someone in Thames was doing. They were painting a commissar on sprue.
Yeah.
To put in like a little frame. I'd love to build and paint a model nicely that I can put into a little thing. And I haven't got any models I painted on my shelf.
Yeah.
But that's what I want to do with Titus.
Harbon, thank you for the 5. For your information, there was a recent Drive Tribe video where Mike Fernie put a wargaming table in the back of a BMW estate car and taught his co-host Middle-earth strategy battle game. That sounds cool.
That's cool.
Should we crowdfund that? Should we crowdfund? We need a significant amount of money, but we'll crowdfund a large Volkswagen van and we'll put a gaming table in the back of it, and then your job can just be driving around the country playing games against people.
Yeah, VW camper.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always wanted a VW camper.
As long as we can fit a table in it that you can then put the terrain underneath and put the mattress on top.
Yeah, you would do it in a modern camper, yeah. Also, talking about good strike, Zorpazorp released a bit. Don't watch it now because we're streaming. But Zorpazorp did one where he talked about the new box set, and then he went to, because obviously he lives in New Zealand, he went to, what's the name?
Spain.
No.
France, Australia.
No.
South Africa.
What's the fancy name for the place where the Rohirrim live? On the hill.
The Riddermark.
The Riddermark is like the county they live in. No, I don't want to say.
Oh my God.
Eris.
Edlas?
Edelas. That's a sword, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't fucking remember, Joe. I'm too tired.
Basically, where
this is what I was telling you last night. I'm not a diehard fan.
Edoras. Thank you. It was in my head. Yeah, he went there and did a walk around of like the set, where it all was, whilst talking about it. It's a good watch.
We can also crowdfund Liam and Joe going to New Zealand.
Yeah.
To visit all the Lord of the Rings stuff.
Yeah. Apparently everyone knows Edoras.
I said Edoras. Actually, I said Edolas. I put an L in it for reasons I don't know.
What's the name of his sword?
Not Edolas.
Pork.
Brilliant. Prillis, thank you for the 5. Sure, I paid for a full Pelennor Fields battle, not just a starter set. I think Rohan will get a refresh overall. Will be a while before Gondor. Oh. You probably did pay for a full battle. Joe's got a lot of old models to paint then.
I mean, the Pelennor Fields does come with...
I have some Pelennor Fields here.
My brain has just gone out the side of my head. All of my Lord of the Rings knowledge has just evaporated from my brain.
Escapade says this sword's called Pokey McPokeface.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm into it.
The problem is all my Lord of the Rings knowledge. I watched all the Lord of the Rings recently. My brain is currently full of Moo Deng, the baby hippo.
The thing is, people seem to think that if you can't regurgitate every name of everything ever, you're not a true fan.
But the thing is though, we're a fan of so many things. How many names names and stat lines do you think are stored in my head for Warhammer over the course of the last 15 years?
Oh, I don't care,
I can
Jay.
remember what abilities units that no longer exist had.
I don't. But
had in a game for units that don't even exist now.
A person can tell me they're the biggest Lord of the Rings fan ever, and I can say to them, "What's this place in the films?" And I'm like, "I can't remember." I'm like, "Cool. I'm not going to judge you because you can't remember it. Don't care.
Yeah.
If you can't remember it, you can't remember it. It doesn't mean you're less of a fan."
But it's also like, no offense, nerds, pointless knowledge, which is meaning. It's basically like the same level of information required. We learn at school like Pythagorean stuff. I learned maths at school. Have I used any of it ever?
I have.
I know you have. Right, I had IT lessons where I learned Excel and Paint. I don't even use those. I learned about the Tudor families. It's all information I really, really enjoyed, but it's never come up in my day to day.
No, I know.
So,
but I don't remember everything. I don't remember, I can't remember. I was talking to you not too long ago. They got pissy because I said to them I've read the books, and I have read the books a long fucking time ago. I'm currently going through them again in audiobook form, and I'm almost finished the second book. And I couldn't remember something that had happened in the book, or the name of someone, or how it got to that point. And I'm like, I can't remember. I thought you said you'd read the books. Yeah, when I was 16, you fucker.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I read the first 6 Horus Heresy books, and I can't remember the names and what stuff happened in them.
Exactly. It doesn't make you less of a fan, though.
Uh,
Can you honestly sit there and say, I've really fucking loved the Horus Heresy? Of course you can. People in general, this is a generalisation now of anything fucking nerd-related. People need to stop fucking gatekeeping. Or you can't remember that one obscure planet they were on book 4 of the Heresy? Who gives a shit? Who fucking cares?
It is a major side effect of autism, though. Just saying.
I mean, I don't need anyone else to convince me, Joe.
Yeah.
I know.
I had someone got really offended with me because I was like, we're having a game, and I was like, well, that's the autism showing through.
Predators, we're going to start with this new box set, mate. And honestly, we probably will expand and add more stuff. It's fucking Lord of the Rings.
I want to make Edoras, because the multi-part Rohirrim terrain is so customizable. You could just make anything out of it that's house-shaped. I can't make a horse out of it. And then obviously you've got the palisade walls. I really want to make an Osgiliath table.
That's good. Planet face. But yeah, see, we would add it all out. It's Lord of the Rings, right? Ultimately, and the other thing that potentially Hobby House allows us to do as well is it allows me to let Joe go mad with fucking modelling clay and paper mache, and then he can build proper tables of things like sections of Helm's Deep that people can then play on downstairs in the hope that we can also carry it up the stairs and put it on the table, right? And then off we go.
Well, people remember the name of a sword and will make you feel bad about it, but won't remember their anniversary with their other half.
Facts.
I made sure that my anniversary was, I didn't make sure, just a happy accident. It's on bonfire night, so I can't really forget.
That's smart move there.
Do it on a public holiday.
30, 35, 40, 60. We're on 62 members, Joe. 62. Thank you so much, Predator. Anyway, Elect Man, thank you for the 5. If I weren't saving my dollars for new Stormcast and going back to school to get a library science degree to change jobs, I'd upgrade to Husqvarna. Bless you. Do those things more, though. Your own plastic crack is more satisfying for you, and education to change career is definitely more important. But I think, again, we haven't obviously had any upgrades today, but I think it's something we'll bring in because I think it could be interesting. Husqvarna questions?
I've got a question.
Oh, no.
What's library science?
It's science in the library.
Is that like learning the weird decimal system that library uses so you can find the books in the right places? I'm not taking the piss. I've just never heard those two words put together.
Oh, we went over 200 viewers, more than I expected for Lord of the Rings. Look at that.
I've never had the phrase library science degree ever mentioned to me.
Well, maybe he'll let us know. Like, man's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Stick Monkey, for the 5. I want a giant picture of John in the style of a North Korean dictator on the wall behind the gaming table. table.
Which
I
is
mean, at this point,
you can do a lot with AI.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can,
Yeah.
You absolutely can.
We'll sell it on display for everyone.
John wants his photo on the toilet door hung up. It's a degree you need to be an academic librarian. There you go.
That's not answered my question.
Joe still doesn't understand the next man.
What the fuck's an academic librarian?
Library books should be ordered by Gus. That's for people like Gus.
But like,
go on.
an academic, like what? As in, you're a librarian at schools? That's where my brain goes.
Thank you so much, John H, for the 10. Fine, have my money. We will. We will take it.
I need to know the actual science behind this now.
Yeah. My wife has that degree. It is mostly a barrier to entry into that career field. Okay. Dan, thank you for the 2. How much have you saved not buying Monster, Joe?
Nothing.
Honestly,
nothing. Right, so it's an interesting switch in my life in the sense that I've stopped buying Monster, so I'm saving £1.70, £1, depending where you buy it, anywhere between less than £1 if you buy it in bulk from Costco to almost up to £2 in some places.
Is it really? Is it that expensive?
Depending on where you buy Monster from.
I haven't had it for so long.
Yeah, but obviously, like, I don't buy I very rarely bought the full sugar one. The full sugar ones are like over £2 because of the sugar tax and stuff. But if you buy it from like a corner shop, it's more expensive. But if you buy it from B&M, it's cheaper. There was a whole science to me buying Monster for as cheap as possible. But the problem is I now eat much healthier food, which costs vastly more than Monster.
I think it's really genuinely quite sad that to eat and drink more healthily costs you more money.
It's insane. So I could buy a can of Monster for £1.50. I could buy a full massive pizza for dinner for £1.50. I've spent £3 on a drink and a meal. It's like a Tesco's meal deal. You know, it's great. But you go out, you buy chicken, you buy potatoes, you buy vegetables, for an evening. You've spent like £7. And that's for one meal. And I'm like, what incentive do people have who are on a low income to live healthily?
The only way we justified the healthier eat was by really looking at portion sizes. We did realise we were eating more than what is scientifically supposedly an adult portion size. And I have to say, the first 2 to 3 weeks of changing our portion sizes sucked dick because you just feel hungry the whole time.
Yeah. The other problem
I've
got, it's not a problem because I love her dearly. My daughter's a vegetarian.
Ugh.
Oh no, she's not. She's Presbyterian.
Pescatarian.
She eats fish.
Pescatarian.
Yeah, not Presbyterian. She's not Christian. Not a devout Christian.
No.
No. She so she eats fish, but obviously she doesn't eat chicken. So I have to buy more vegetables essentially. So I've actually becoming healthier from my body being unhealthy has cost me vastly more money.
Yeah. Try reducing portion size so the food goes further, but it sucks to start with. It also helps drop weight.
But we've done that. We've reduced the things, but it still costs us more money.
Is that why you were smashing Potatoes Brothers again recently?
Yeah. The problem is, it gets to the point where I haven't eaten enough over like the course of like between Friday and Monday. I've not eaten much over the weekend. So Liam's like, let's go buy lunch, and I'm like, meal for 3.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Company card.
Yeah.
Meal for 3.
Yeah.
Escape says, how has he read my 3 stupid messages but not my serious one? If you don't know that about me by now, Escape, I can't help you. Thank you so much, Crumpets Panda, for the 5. Wait, what is that about a panda as king? Crowdfunding is all about the value proposition for me. I like that mix of support and exclusivity. I get it. But I think the big thing for me is I've tried to build a business. Open chat moment for 5 minutes. I've tried to build a business model. I've tried to build a business model that essentially relies exclusively on crowdfunding on a daily basis, near enough, right? What do I mean by that? Well, how many 30,000 subscriber channels do you know that do this full time and have a studio the size that we have and put out the quality that we have with the number of cameras that we have? I'd suggest it's close to 0. We're the only one. I'm very proud of this, by the way, and I beam about this quite often. I'm very proud of this. But we're the only ones I know at our size, with our audience size, that has all of this that we have. We have this set, we have the main stage, we have lighting everywhere, we have cameras everywhere. We're the only ones. We're the only people putting out 4K content on YouTube that is streaming content. And I know we do 7 streams, we do more content pretty much than any other channel as well. I know that, but we're the only ones. And that's partly because we've gone for a 98% fan-funded model. If I went down what is the traditional YouTube route, where it's majority pre-recorded content, and it particularly sits with, you particularly generate revenue with ad revenue and with ad opportunities, we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have him at all. I wouldn't be able to afford to.
Yeah, I'd have to go to another channel and make them famous instead.
I wouldn't be able to afford Joe. I wouldn't be able to afford the studio. I wouldn't be able to afford all these different things, right? So, and I would be back in my house still, arguably unable to afford that. I've seen channels my size and the revenue that they make when it's not based on fan funding. It's not a lot. No. And fair play to any of them who are making money doing it, but it's not a lot.
And you got to look at the biggest and best example of a channel that's doing extremely well is someone like Tactics, right? But Lawrence has been doing it for 10 plus years. He started in 6th edition, and that was like in his living room with him and the beard, right? And they're one of the only channels I'd say that produces solely that's making a financial profit and is putting out pre-recorded. But there's like 11 of them on 2 tables, and so you got 4 people recording a game, and whilst they're recording, everyone else is editing games. So they just have to keep pumping stuff out just to keep relevant.
They still put out less content though.
And they still put out, but because they can't keep up with it.
Because it's harder for pre-recorded, because it takes 2 times as long.
It takes even longer, the editing time is increased, and pre-recorded doesn't actually make you money.
No,
without a subscription base.
Right. So pre-recorded does make you loads of money if you paywall tons of content. And if you look at the Tactics model, and I love Lawrence, by the way. Lawrence is fucking incredible. His team are amazing. They're all lovely people. I won't say a bad word about him. But look at the difference in channels. So there's no way I can keep up with Lawrence at the moment. I just can't, right? And I wouldn't try to. I don't intend to. But he has 1 to 2 that comes out live to YouTube a week. Yeah. Everything else is paywalled.
Yeah.
Which works for him. So all power to him. I don't want to do that for my own reasons, not because I think one way is right or one way is wrong. I'm just trying a different approach. Yeah. Because if I try and do the same approach, what I do at that point is I compete directly with him. And I don't think we can compete directly with him.
I don't think anyone can compete with him.
So it's exactly right. Yeah. So it's not that I'm saying my way is right, his way is wrong, my way is more ethical, his way... There's no comparison there. I'm trying to do it differently so I don't compete with him because I can't compete with him.
And you've got to think, everyone's in a position where they haven't got loads of money, so everyone has to make conscious decisions on where they put that money. And when you're looking at 2 people in the exact same field, so 2 channels, both creating content, both locking it behind a paywall, it's all pre-recorded, but one is vastly higher quality than the other, you're going to go, I'm just going to pay for the one that's the best.
Crumpet says, I'm not saying you should crowdfund, just offering my 2 cents on your idea regarding crowdfunding. No, I appreciate it. I'm just elaborating. I get it, mate. I get that you're saying we should. I'm just trying to, because the reason why I'm explaining is because I've had a bunch of people that have said we should crowdfund. I'm like, the thing is, the way I look at how I run the business, can you please make sure you mute yourself, darling?
I'm going to mute myself, Daddy.
You can do it on the deck now.
I'll put you on the deck.
What? Because the way I look at how I run the channel and how I run the business is that I basically view our revenue as monthly crowdfunding, if that makes sense. It's essentially what we do. We monthly crowdfund. So we have a statistic that I can tell you actually right now in my YouTube studio how you make money. Ads. So ads on any of our content is responsible for 1.7% of our revenue, which means that 98.3% of our revenue is fan funded By fan-funded, I mean members, gifted members, super chats, super thanks. They're the 4 things, right? So of those, 15% is supers, 83.4% is gifted and memberships. So I think we're already, so the few people that have said to me, you should do a crowdfunder, I'm like, we're already crowdfunded. We just crowdfunded monthly rather than crowdfunded in one big sweep. Does that make sense? So I totally understand what you're saying about crowdfunding. I'm not against crowdfunders. I don't have a problem with crowdfunders per se. I don't have a problem with crowdfunders as a concept. I've supported crowdfunders in the past. I've done crowdfunders in the past myself years ago. However, this time round, when I was doing crowdfunders before, I was a pre-recorded channel making very little to no money, and it was just an ad revenue. And I was like, I need a boost. I need a revenue boost to be able to do the thing, to be able to improve the thing, to be able to get more people to watch the thing, to generate ad revenue, right? But now I feel like we are actually a monthly crowdfunded channel. And so I believe that for us to crowdfund for more shit, we've already got the studio. We could continue to make content for the next 6 months. We wouldn't necessarily make major improvements. Would probably be a bit of a shitty move. It's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a ton of people out there, which is why, and there are people out there that are like, if you crowdfunded, I'd chuck you a load of money. I'm like, cool, there's a PayPal link in the description below. You're welcome to use it. You don't have to, there's no requirement, but you're welcome to use it. So, but I appreciate your sentiment as well, mate. I get what you're saying. Totally, we do it differently, right? Sir Galahad, thank you for the 1 gifted membership, you're a legend. Also, thank you for the 5. Fantasy Day, so here's fantasy question. When you are up and running, how long before we get a Great Hall Blood Bowl event? I don't imagine that would be that difficult. I don't think that'd be that hard, a Great Hall event for Blood Bowl. I don't know, we can do one.
All you need is...
I've been told Blood Bowl leagues are quite...
All you need is enough mats, enough chairs, table space. It's having someone to judge it that knows the rules incredibly well is the biggest problem. It's not a problem, you just need to learn the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Won't be hard.
So your concern is you feel like you're double dipping if you were to do a crowdfunding event because you are crowdfunding already. Essentially, I see what we do essentially as monthly crowdfunding.
Yeah.
Because it is basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could definitely do a Blood Bowl event. I'd be up for it. It sounds like it'd be easy enough to do. Are you vulnerable to YouTube moving goalposts, etc.? Say they take a bigger percentage of membership, so they're pretty consistent with their terms. When YouTube first launched their very, very first membership program years and years and years ago, YouTube Red, they then shut it down very quickly afterwards. They then relaunched under this current membership scheme, and they haven't changed a single term since. So I think they're pretty solid.
Yeah.
Twitch used to offer the same percentage cut as YouTube currently offers, and they changed it, and they moved the goalposts. Interestingly, everybody who was already a Twitch partner got left on the old deal, and only new people that got monetized got the new deal.
Yeah.
I'd imagine every company like Twitch or YouTube would probably do something similar. So if YouTube came out tomorrow and went, we're actually going to copy Twitch and do a 50-50 split, which I don't think they would do, I'd imagine we'd be safe.
Yeah. Twitch's biggest problem is that they increase the amount that they take, which obviously pushed more people to YouTube. So now they've got less people signing up, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So YouTube would want to keep it where it is to encourage more people to come to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They want streamers ultimately to use YouTube instead of Twitch.
Yeah.
John McCall, thank you for 20 gifted memberships.
Absolute hero. I hope John.
What the fuck is this?
What?
No, you do the hopes. I'll show you this in a minute. We've got a topic for the last 10 minutes of the stream, Joe.
Right. Okay. I hope, John, that you get a free night stay in the next hotel you go to. Because he does a lot of travelling. He might go to the same hotels. They might be like, you come here quite often, we'll give you a free night.
Demogorgon, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Demogorgon. I hope that your local shops don't start playing Christmas music on the 1st of November. Because it's like...
Oh, I don't like that hope. I'm a Christmas music fan, Joe.
I love Christmas music, but I have to be at least halfway through November. At least get bonfire night out of the way. Why are you shaking your head?
Warhammer Community has just released a new article, Joe.
Yeah.
A painting article where they have released a new paint palette. And if this was in April, you would believe this was an April Fool's joke. This is their new paint palette, Jay.
What the fuck is that?
It's fucking embarrassing, that, isn't it? Have they told you what the price is going to be?
That's not real.
Oh, fuck. I just nearly dropped it.
That can't be right. Or you wouldn't leave him alone with animals and small children,
You
would
definitely wouldn't leave him with small children, would you?
That,
Why was he just using his brush and that palette also like a complete fucking degenerate if he's supposed to be a TV presenter?
Oh, I don't like it.
So the idea of it being rubber, right, and that you can wash it off is fine. Why have they made it a shit servo skull with loads of really random little wells in it?
Well, the wells make sense.
But all the loads of little random ones all over the place is a nonsense thing. You could take the Artis Opus one that already exists, make it the material that's made out of. That's all you needed to do. I hope this is a monumental flop. £25.50?
The fuck? Just go to the works and buy one for £2.
That's an awful piece of kit. What were they thinking? Why are you so shit?
Not all the time. Just on obscure minor things.
1 step forward, 2 steps back, I told you.
Oh, I don't get.
Why are Games Workshop so fucking idiotic all the time? It's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
But
Chat, by the way, we're on 67 members.
So they used to have the paper palette. You work on a page, tear it off, throw it in a bin. Done.
It's so bad.
Or like a tile. I don't even have one. I've got a cutting mat. And I just use the cutting mat to do all my mixing and stuff on.
Oh, so we don't know if it's £25.50. Dan's been making it up.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen the cost of their clippers?
Right. I'm going to say this now, chat. If you buy any of your hobbying tools from Games Workshop, and I include glue in this, paints is the one thing I think I let people get away with.
Yeah, their paints are actually well priced.
If you buy anything else from Games Workshop, snips, fucking mould line removal, cutting tools, pin vices, water cups, etc., you're a fucking moron.
Well, it's mad though, because what they charge a ridiculous price for anything that's not paint and models, and I'm including terrain with this as well. An obscene amount of money, to the point where they're basically pricing themselves out of the market, like their snips being like £30, and you have to pay obscene amount for the little moulding spatulas and stuff. Like they're charging so much money to the point where surely, like it's worth just not even releasing it in the first place.
What do you mean?
Because they're not going to sell enough.
Correct. Okay.
So if they just made it cheaper, it would make them more money in the long run.
Okay, paint handles. I've got paint handles, Vortex Games. I'll give you that one. I've got paint handles and paints. I've actually got the grey water cup thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever bought that? Have you ever had that grey water cup thing?
I've got the grey water cup there.
That the brushes don't fit in.
Yeah.
Got the grooves to slide brushes in. Their own brushes don't fit in them.
Yeah, I've got it, and I've only got it because someone got it for me for a Christmas present.
Yeah, where I got mine from.
Yeah.
But there's grooves in it where you're supposed to be able to slide brushes in and they stay stood up. Games Workshop brushes don't fit.
Yeah. It's got the ribs in the bottom as well, so like it's supposed to like scrape the paint off the brushes as you do it, but that just damages them more.
Yeah, the paint holders are all right, but piece of cork and blue tack is also. You don't need the paint holders. You don't need them. I like having them, but you don't need them. You could do it cheaper. In fact, I spent most of my time not using paint handles. I spent most of my time using. You can buy from Amazon. They're about that big. You can buy plastic shot glasses.
Yeah.
Right? You could buy like a pack of 100 plastic shot glasses and a couple of packs of blue tack, and you turn the shot glass upside down, you put the blue tack on the shot glass and you blue tack your model to it, and it costs the same to mount 100 models as a single fucking paint handle.
Yeah. I've got 15 paint handles.
I gave you half of them.
I'm 5 shy of my target.
Yeah, but you want the old ones.
Yeah, I think you gave me 5. I had like 10 before I started with you. I want 20. It's the magic number.
The grooves are not for putting brushes in there, it's for putting the tip to a point. So your mouth's for.
What?
He says the grooves in the painting part are not for holding brushes, they're for pulling the tip to a point. I don't know who pulls their tip to a point out of a water cup though, and then puts it in the paint, because then you've got to put it to a tip anyway.
To a tip, and then you put it in the paint, and then when you put it in the paint, you twist it so that the paint's in it and it's still at a point, and then you do it. Wow. That's mad.
Just bought a red grass wet palette for 20 quid, and then Gaze like released this. Holy hell, it would need to be less than £3 to even be close. Red grass wet palettes, especially the everlasting ones with the rewashable membranes, are fucking great, by the way. Really, 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 really good.
I've never used a wet palette.
As a teen, I bought the Games Workshop hand flamer spray gun.
Oh, I had that.
Absolute nightmare, went in the bin.
It was a bag of shit. Because they sold the cans of the propellant to go with it, but the propellant you could get like 30 seconds of spray before the can got too cold to use. So you'd have to have like 5 cans on the go to do like 10, 12 models. If you got a bunch of tank, I had it when I collected Eldar and I had to base it all blue, and it was horrible to use because I sat there spraying out of my back door with the cans all lead on top of the heater, and I like using one, and when it got too cold, replace it with another one, and it took forever. It was only good if you had a compressor for an airbrush, at which point you just use the airbrush. It was a great idea.
I never remember the hand flamer.
It was a great idea.
I never had it.
Terribly, terribly done.
Wet pallets are a scam. How did you work that one out? Wet pallets are fucking incredible.
I've heard good things about wet pallets, but I'm like cutting board, done.
Wet pallets, my everlasting one is fucking great. And it's a rewashable membrane as well. It's fucking brilliant, honestly. So good. Schooner! Thank you for the 5 gigs of memberships.
I hope, Schooner, that your local Christmas light switch on is done by an actual celebrity. Like an actual
Yeah,
celebrity.
not like a fucking D-lister.
Me and my partner were talking about the Shaftesbury Christmas light switch on for the last 5 years has been gradually getting worse and worse and worse and worse every time. Like a couple of years ago, there was like a kids choir and a random woman who they said was a local singer.
Wet pallets are indeed a scam. They're drying immediately. You're not using it properly then.
Is it wet?
If your wet pallet is drying immediately, you're not using it properly.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. The best Christmas light switch on I went to, by the way, was when Phil Mitchell turned on the Salisbury lights. I can't remember the actual.
It's a strong start to the story.
Turned it on, but the people who'd set up the fireworks had done it wrong, and the angle was too low, and they were literally just arcing into the crowd and setting off at like head and waist height.
I'm into it.
It was great.
If you watch any of the Donkin Rhodes Painting Academy stuff, he's often using a wet palette. My mate Martin, who's been in chat loads of times, he was a Golden Demon winner and a Slayer Sword winner, uses a wet palette. When those level of painters are using wet palettes, they are absolutely not a scam. You're just not using it right. My wet palette gets wet and then I use it for 2 hours on stream. It doesn't dry out. So it's not a palette issue.
Maybe I should try it one day.
I love them. I love them. For blending as well, they're fucking great. If you like to blend, they're really, really good.
Yeah.
Really,
but I've
really
gone
good.
so long without having to
Oh, you don't need one. I'm not saying anybody needs a palette,
Yeah.
a wet palette. Nobody needs a wet palette to paint.
It's like the only time I need it is if I'm painting lots of model and I've had to mix paints. That like you do half of them and your piece of wood or whatever's dried out, and then I have to like mix it again.
Yeah, you don't. No one needs a wet. I'm not saying you need a wet palette. I'm not saying it will change your life.
What I need to do is I want to go on like a proper airbrush course. It's like. Because you watch all these people airbrushing and they're like airbrushed a whole model and they're like, oh, I'm going to do the cloth now and I'm going to use my airbrush to get perfect, straight, crispy lines that never spit anywhere in an entirely different colour to the skin and none of it goes on the skin. I'm like, you bastard.
Yeah.
I go, all armour. Oh, I'll try using the red on the cloth. Oh, it's splashed everywhere. And for some reason, there's red specks on all the models that are like an entire metre away from where I'm doing it. So annoying.
Yeah. We got to
Some?
72 members.
Ooh. So it's about the same.
It's about the same.
Yeah. I have noticed from going off the monster, I'm a lot more tired.
Yeah. Your caffeine come down will happen for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got about the same members, about the same super chats, James. So it's not that different.
So the Thanes failed us once again.
They lied to me.
Yeah.
The reason why engagement is down is because, I mean, I did also pick a Lord of the Rings topic, which was never going to bring as many viewers in. Yeah. But, yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll get a big, like, GW. It's the big fancy weekend this weekend, isn't it?
Is it?
Oh,
yeah, it is, yeah.
Stream. That'll do us well next week.
The announcement weekend. If you're a celebrity doing the light turn on, got famous from being on a reality show, getting to see. 100%. 100%. Absolutely. I don't even come to light switch-ons anymore. I said to Luce, this year, I'd like to go into town more frequently in December. And she said, why? I said, because the last 2 or 3 years, I've just not been in the Christmas spirit at all.
And
I think one of the reasons is I'm home here, and that's all I do.
Yeah.
So you don't end up walking around town when there's decorations up everywhere, there's music in all the shops, all that kind of stuff.
Obviously my birthday is exactly 1 week before Christmas. And what I'd like to do is go to Bournemouth.
5 p.m. live stream of a pre-recorded video that will be shit.
Yeah.
Yes. Carry on. Sorry, you go to Bournemouth.
I go to Bournemouth to the Christmas market.
Is it good?
Christmas market's great.
In Bournemouth?
Yeah.
Best Christmas market I've went to was in Germany.
I don't eat, because we normally go in the evening when it gets darker so you can see all the fancy lights. So I tend to not eat all day so I can just consume as much Christmas food in one evening as possible without being sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best Christmas market I ever went to was Germany.
Yeah?
Really, really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
Market
still the same.
Garden.
No, it was a long time ago though.
Yeah.
2003? 2?
No. Probably changed a bit then.
Probably a little bit. Yeah. Tank, thank you for the 1 gifted. Cray, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships.
I hope, Cray, that this weekend, if you go into your town, there's a van doing a full roast dinner in a giant Yorkshire pudding.
Ooh, powerful, strong.
Which is consequently the main reason why I go to Bournemouth for Christmas.
Yeah. He also said, Lord of the Rings on the channel, I'm in. We're bringing it. Pritter's paid for it. You can thank him. We're bringing it. Thank you for the 5 gifted. Harborn, thank you for 5 more gifted memberships. Make sure you ! Vortex in the chat, which is particularly poignant if you are based, stationed, or live in Canadian land. Vortex is an independent retailer in Canadian land who sponsors the channel. And if you buy using ! Vortex, that link, we get kickback. He gets your support. Everyone's happy. Big circle jerk.
Yeah?
Yeah. Thank you for the 5 gifted.
I hope that next time you go to the zoo, you arrive perfectly in time for the feeding time of your favourite animal. I love feeding times at zoos. They're great. I always push all the children out of the way.
Stu says, London Hyde Park Christmas market last time I went was garbage, just selling plastic towel overpriced mulled wine.
That's
so
like
this
every
is the issue.
Christmas market.
This is the issue with, so there's a market that gets into Southampton. I said something to this about to Lucy the other day, and she was like, there's a market in Southampton. I was like, yeah, I can't remember what day it's on, but yeah. She went, why have you never told me? I was like, because it's shit nowadays. She said, what do you mean? So it used to be a really nice little market store. There's loads of it's like an actual market store. There's stuff that you could buy that was like actual handmade. It's a really, really nice little thing. Now it is just fucking probably China-made, mass-produced shite that's overpriced on the market.
Yeah.
Stuff that like clothing that if you put it in a wash once is then fucked.
Yeah.
You can never
It's
wear
too
it ever
small.
again.
Yeah.
Rugs that will molt more than your dog. Things that haven't been made by someone's artisanal, handcrafted type construction. They've just been mass-produced in China by a child before he died. So I don't bother. Joseph Spencer, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Joseph Hudson. I hope that you have opened near you a one of those drive-in cinemas.
That puts us on 84. A drive-in cinema?
Yeah.
Well, they're in Americaland.
Yeah.
My favourite thing that I ever saw in Americaland was a drive-through
Yeah.
off-licence.
Wow.
It was in Arizona.
Yeah.
We were talking to the local copper. He's like, we've got a massive drink driving problem. We're having real issues with people that are getting convicted of DUIs. And it gets to a point where they essentially charge you to fit an breathalyzer to your car.
Yeah.
And you can't start the car before you blow into the breathalyzer. And you have to pay a monthly subscription to have it in the car. Because they're like, that's your fucking punishment.
Yeah.
Because you can't stop drink driving. And then they've got drive-through off licenses. I'm like, I think I'm seeing it to be a problem.
Yeah.
You don't even have to get out of the car to buy your fucking vodka.
Yeah. They didn't really put 2 and 2 together on that one.
No, they haven't, no. They don't have drive-through cash points, Jay.
Mental.
So you don't have to get out of your car.
Keep yawning now.
You don't have to get out. It's fine. I'll make us a coffee after this. I'll make us a fancy coffee. It'll be fine. You don't have to get out your car to make a coffee. To make a coffee, you don't have to do that, definitely, because you don't have to do it here because there's drive-through Costa now. You don't have to get your car to get your cash out. So you could go to a drive-through cash point, get your cash out, go to a drive-through off license, get your alcohol. You don't have to leave the seat of your car.
That's bonkers.
It's amazing, isn't it? That's why once the lease is up on this place, we'll move to America.
Can I go somewhere cold?
Yeah, aircon.
I don't deal with heat very well.
We could do like New England area.
Yeah?
It's like mild, warm summers, but they get snow at winter and for Christmas.
Perfect. I'm sold.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You in?
Yeah.
Actually, New Hampshire, I think it is, has got one of the highest ratings for like quality of life in the
Really?
US. Yeah.
Good.
It's up there like the Boston area where like Family Guy and that is supposedly from.
Yeah.
Yeah. You into it?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Cool. Anyway, we've got to the end of that stream. I think we ended on 84 of the finest members. You're amazing. Thank you.
You're
so
all
much.
heroes.
We've got a ton more content this week. So we also have our live AOS stream this evening where we're going to be doing some Spearhead stuff. I reckon we'll get through 2 Spearhead games because we're going to go literally from full start to finish because we haven't covered any Spearhead stuff on the channel yet. And I want to do it.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that tonight. Probably me and you first, then me and Kyle? Or... Yeah?
Yeah, I'm free. Yeah.
Well,
I haven't played it since we learned to play it.
yeah.
So we could learn together. Carl says he plays it all the time. So you won't have to teach him in the second game.
No, I know exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow at 7:30 in the evening, we've got the Warhammer show. Thursday, we've got another Liam and Joe show back in the chairs because it's what you wanted. Despite the fact we didn't hit membership goal, that's what you wanted. And in the evening, the live game of 40k, Joe and I are playing. I'm going to bust out the World Eaters again. I've missed them. I haven't played them for a while.
This Thursday?
This is Thursday, mate, yeah. So I don't care what I throw them against, but I'm going to bust out the World Eaters. And then Friday, we have 40k After Dark, and I have some more Nidhogger Mead coming. So Galahad, thank you for the one gifted up to 85. You legend. What spearheads are you using? No fucking idea. I haven't thought that far ahead.
I will use Soulblight, maybe?
I might use Sylvaneth because I haven't used Sylvaneth for a while.
Yeah.
They're one of my favourites. Okay, so that's for this week. That's on this channel. There may also, I think, Friday daytime, possibly, depending on what time we get home from our trip out, or probably this weekend. There might also be a stream on ! Vag.
I like it.
We've got our Vag back out, Joe.
Oh, love it.
I've really missed it. More war, less hammer, please.
Yeah.
We've got our Vag back out, chat. So if you're into video games, if you like video games and you want to watch 2 middle-aged men who are pretty shit at video games play video games, ! Vag.
Yeah.
We're not very good yet. I need to get better at streaming that stuff. I missed doing it. I missed the game streaming, and I really missed it. But I kept burning out on COD, so I'm playing other games.
Yeah.
I found that I've got installed so many fucking games that I don't play at home. quite a wide variety as well. Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 24.
I know you're not so keen on it. I'd love to get you to play Helldivers 2 because I think it would be a real good comparison for you because they're similar games.
Maybe.
So because you can see how you feel about Space Marine, and then obviously Helldivers is the most comparable thing on the market at the time.
I'm not against it. If VAG starts, so VAG is monetized. I'll throw it out here now, right? I'm always open and honest with you people. VAG is monetized, but it doesn't make a lot of money, and it's not the point. However, if VAG gets to a point where I can buy games like Helldivers to put on content without having to think about it, it is possible that I would do that, to be honest with you, right? One of the reasons why I got, so on Sunday, my EA Play Pro subscription renewed, I forgot I had. I was like, oh, fuck, it's gone. So I downloaded and installed FC25. Won't interest you, it's a football game, right? It's the new one that just came out. I started playing it. I ended up playing games for 6 hours, and I was like, I haven't played. Space Marine 2 was another one where we played 10 hours straight on the first Monday. I was like, I've not played a game for that long in like almost ever.
Yeah.
I was like, I've missed video games. But what I got was Warzone burnout.
You got the burnout of having to compete against people who think that they are all pro gamers playing in the finals of the World Championships.
So what I've committed to for VAG in the future is taking more of a kind of Jack Frags approach and less of a tactical Brit approach. And instead of just playing Warzone, playing any fucking game that I think looks cool. So it is monetized. I have this morning updated the membership tiers, levels, and some of the rewards, and I'll be growing that slowly. This is my fun project though, so that what I won't guarantee and what I won't ask Joe to do is commit to streaming the same time on the same day every single week for video games. I reckon there'll be a lot of it that will be just me, because I'll just do it when I feel like it, for fun, because I'm not putting pressure on that one to make money. If it does bonus, this is still our focus. But yeah, if you're interested in video game stuff, I'm going to try and get better at that in the future. There you go. You lot have been incredible. Thank you for hanging out this afternoon. I hope you've enjoyed it. I need to get my phone out of my pocket to say goodbye, because stream buttons and stuff. Goodbye. Not yet, hang on. Do you know even this, right? To have the Stream Deck on your phone is a subscription.
Electman, the 2 suggestions that you made for Spearheads, we don't have.
What was that?
He was like, play Disciples of Zinch. And then he was like, play Lumineth Realm Lords.
We have neither of those.
We have neither of those.
I have the Lumineth Realm Lord Spearhead, I just haven't finished even building it.
So that's the problem with like people saying we want more content from you. It's like we've not got around to doing them yet. So
yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there eventually.
But thank you so much for hanging out, you wonderful people. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. You guys are beautiful. Hopefully we'll see you tonight in the live AOS content. If not, we'll see you in the next one.
But I have a wonderful time.